What is under contract contamination?
So when a property goes under contract and for whatever reason it falls out of contract and the buyers change their mind, they're not going to purchase the property. The property is somewhat stigmatized, or what we call under contract contamination, because it's on the internet. You can't unring that bell, and people are aware that this property went under contract, and for whatever reason it fell out of contract. The general public and other agents assume the very worst. So normally what happens is the buyers have an inspection, and we find out a multitude of things that we didn't know about the property before.
This exact situation happened to me recently.
Yes, right. And so you find several things that has happened to the property, and the seller can decide, yeah, I'm going to fix that, or no, you're being ridiculous. And so for whatever reason, round 2 of negotiations, inspections fall apart, and now we have an inspector that has said X, Y, and Z is wrong with the property, and that's the only professional opinion that we have. And it doesn't matter whether or not the seller or the agent don't think there's anything wrong with the property. This is now a material fact. It either has to be disclosed on the residential property disclosure statement, or it has to be remedied where we temporarily take it off the market, then we fix those problems, and then nothing has to be revealed or disclosed because there's nothing no longer wrong with the property. A lot of buyers and buyers agents will ask for a previous inspection. There's really no value in that. I recommend that a listing agent or the seller not give those away, because it only causes problems for them. If those issues have been fixed, that inspection has no value. I mean, it's an old inspection with old problems that don't exist anymore. But the agent and the seller need to know that if they don't fix those, that's a material fact. And if they try to sell the property again and there's another inspection, the seller could be in breach, or the buyer could be owed their due diligence money back because both the agent and the seller were trying to get over on the new buyer. So really the big thing for sellers to know is that inspections can cause the property to be stigmatized because it fell out of contract. The other thing is an appraisal. So, this is a very, very good seller's market right now, and sellers are demanding more, and listing agents, because of the shortage of inventory, are sticking their neck out a little bit more. So when we do a comparative market analysis and we see that these properties should be in the 250, 255 range, but because of the shortage of inventory, the seller says, I want 275 or 280, they might actually have a lot of people knocking on the door because there's such a shortage of inventory, but those properties might not appraise. If that property goes under contract, it doesn't appraise, you now have a material fact. Appraisals are just opinions, but if that's the only opinion that we have right now, it is a disclosure issue to the public that this property didn't appraise. The seller's well within their rights to go and get another appraisal, and if that meets their asking price, then we have no issues. So one of the things that I'll discuss in more detail in another video is, we want as much due diligence money as possible right now, because if a property falls out of contract, the second time it goes under contract could be thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars less than the first time it goes under contract.